In the quaint, cobblestone town of Eldridge, nestled between rolling hills and dense forests, life moved at a leisurely pace. With its charming houses, friendly neighbors, and a sense of security that enveloped its streets, Eldridge seemed like the perfect embodiment of small-town tranquility. Yet, beneath its serene surface, a mystery was brewing, one that would challenge the very fabric of this peaceful community. Our story begins in the early days of autumn when the leaves turned golden and the air became crisp. It was a time when the townspeople prepared for the annual Harvest Festival, a celebration of community spirit and the bountiful gifts of nature. Little did they know that this year, the festival would be overshadowed by an enigma that would leave them puzzled and apprehensive. For years, Eldridge had been plagued by a series of petty crimes. Nothing too severe, just enough to keep the local constable, Mr. Harold Jenkins, on his toes. Break-ins, minor thefts, and the occasional act of vandalism kept the townsfolk on edge. Yet, despite his best efforts, Constable Jenkins was never able to apprehend the culprit. The villain, as the townspeople had come to call him, was as elusive as a shadow in the night. The villain's trademark was a calling card left at each crime scene, a simple playing card, the Joker, with a cryptic message inscribed on its back. "Catch me if you can," it taunted, mocking the authorities with each new appearance. It became a game, one that the villain seemed to relish, always staying one step ahead of the law. As the day of the Harvest Festival approached, Eldridge was abuzz with excitement. Stalls were set up in the town square, laden with homemade preserves, freshly baked goods, and handcrafted trinkets. The air was filled with the scent of cinnamon and apple cider, and the sounds of laughter and music echoed through the streets. However, amidst the preparations, an unsettling event unfolded. The villain vanished. Overnight, the crimes ceased, and the Joker card stopped appearing. At first, the townspeople were relieved, believing that the villain had finally moved on. But as days turned into weeks, an unsettling question lingered in the air: where had the villain gone? Eldridge was not without its heroes. Enter Detective Oliver Grayson, a retired investigator from the bustling city of New Haven. Grayson had moved to Eldridge seeking a quiet life after decades on the force, but his keen mind and insatiable curiosity were far from retired. Word of the villain's disappearance reached him through the grapevine, piquing his interest. Grayson was a man of few words, with a sharp gaze that seemed to pierce through the layers of any story. His reputation for solving some of New Haven's most perplexing cases preceded him, and though he had intended to leave his detective days behind, the mystery of the vanishing villain was too enticing to ignore. Grayson began his investigation by revisiting old crime scenes, meticulously examining every detail in search of overlooked clues. The townspeople, initially wary of an outsider poking into their affairs, soon warmed to him, their curiosity outweighing their reservations. Grayson spoke with Constable Jenkins, who shared his frustration at the villain's elusive nature. "I tell you, detective, it's like chasing a ghost," Jenkins lamented over a cup of strong black coffee. "Whoever this villain is, they're clever. Too clever." Grayson nodded thoughtfully. "Every criminal makes a mistake eventually, Constable. It's just a matter of finding it." As Grayson delved deeper, he uncovered a pattern in the villain's activities. The crimes, though seemingly random, followed a peculiar rhythm, occurring at regular intervals throughout the year. The realization sparked a theory: could the villain be someone within the community, someone with an intricate understanding of the town's routines and events? Grayson also noticed that the villain's crimes were never violent. They seemed more like pranks, albeit ones that caused significant disruption. This observation led him to question the villain's motives. Was it merely a game, a challenge to the authorities, or was there a deeper reason behind these acts? As the investigation progressed, Eldridge found itself on edge. The absence of the villain's antics, which had become oddly familiar, left an unsettling void. The townspeople, once eager to see the villain caught, now whispered among themselves, speculating on the villain's identity and whereabouts. Margaret Wilkins, owner of the local bakery, voiced a common sentiment. "It's strange, isn't it? You'd think we'd be relieved, but not knowing is worse. It's like waiting for the other shoe to drop." The town's unease was palpable, and Grayson knew that solving the mystery was not just about catching a criminal, but restoring peace to the community. Just as hope seemed to wane, an unexpected lead emerged. Young Timothy Collins, an adventurous and observant teenager, approached Grayson with a discovery. While exploring the forest near the edge of town, Timothy stumbled upon a hidden clearing, littered with remnants of the Joker cards. "I didn't touch anything, I swear," Timothy assured, wide-eyed with excitement. "But there's something strange out there, detective. You have to see it." Grayson, intrigued by the boy's account, agreed to investigate the site. The clearing was as Timothy described, a secluded area, shielded by tall trees, with charred remains of a small fire and several Joker cards scattered about. It was as if the villain had used it as a hideout, a place to plan their next move. As Grayson stood in the clearing, the pieces of the puzzle began to align in his mind. The villain's disappearance, the pattern of the crimes, and the newfound evidence all hinted at a larger story yet to be uncovered. The mystery of the vanishing villain was far from solved, but Grayson felt they were on the brink of a breakthrough. With renewed determination, Grayson vowed to unravel the truth behind Eldridge's most enigmatic figure. The stage was set for a revelation that would shake the town to its core, but for now, the answer lay hidden, waiting to be discovered in the episodes yet to come. As the dust began to settle on the initial investigation, Detective Oliver Grayson found himself drawn deeper into the enigmatic world of Eldridge. The disappearance of the villain left a lingering unease in the town, and Grayson was determined to bring clarity to the situation. The hidden clearing discovered by young Timothy Collins had presented a promising lead, and Grayson knew that this was just the beginning of unraveling the mystery. With the newfound evidence in hand, Grayson returned to his study, meticulously piecing together the puzzle. The Joker cards, seemingly random at first, now appeared to hold a deeper significance. Grayson examined the cryptic messages scrawled on each card, trying to detect a pattern or hidden meaning that might have been previously overlooked. Meanwhile, the townspeople grew more restless. Whispers of conspiracy and hidden secrets filled the air. Eldridge, once a picture of tranquility, was now a community on edge, waiting for the next revelation. One crisp evening, as the town settled into its routine, Grayson received an unexpected visitor at his door. It was Eliza Hart, a longtime resident of Eldridge and the town's unofficial historian. Known for her extensive knowledge of Eldridge's past, Eliza might hold the key to understanding the villain's motives. "Detective Grayson," she began, her voice steady and calm, "there's something you need to see." Eliza led Grayson to the town's archives, a dusty room filled with old records and forgotten tales. Among the documents, she unearthed a series of newspaper clippings detailing a string of similar crimes from decades past. The crimes, eerily reminiscent of the current ones, had gone unsolved and eventually faded from memory. Intrigued by this discovery, Grayson began to form a theory. Could the villain be a copycat, inspired by the town's forgotten history? Or was it possible that the same individual, or perhaps a descendant, was behind both series of crimes? As Grayson delved deeper into the archives, he found references to an old folklore tale about a trickster spirit said to inhabit the forest surrounding Eldridge. The spirit, known for its mischievous nature, was rumored to play pranks on the townspeople during the harvest season. Could this legend have inspired the villain's antics? As Grayson worked tirelessly, Eldridge found itself grappling with its own fears and suspicions. The townspeople began to question each other, and old grievances resurfaced. The sense of community that once defined Eldridge was now overshadowed by mistrust and apprehension. Local gatherings turned into heated debates, and the once peaceful harvest festival was now a somber affair. Margaret Wilkins, the town's beloved baker, expressed the sentiment felt by many. "We used to be a close-knit community," she lamented. "Now it feels like we're all strangers." Just when it seemed the investigation had hit a dead end, a breakthrough occurred. Grayson received a tip from an anonymous source, directing him to an abandoned cabin deep in the forest. Armed with a flashlight and a determined spirit, Grayson set out to explore the location. The cabin, though dilapidated, showed signs of recent use. Inside, Grayson discovered a collection of items linking the villain to the mysterious crimes. Among them was a journal filled with sketches and notes, chronicling each heist and detailing plans for future endeavors. With the journal in hand, Grayson felt the pieces finally coming together. The mystery of the vanishing villain was slowly unraveling, revealing a complex web of history, folklore, and personal vendettas. Yet, questions still remained. Who was the mastermind behind the mask, and what was their ultimate goal? As Grayson prepared to confront the truth, he knew that the next chapter in Eldridge's story would be pivotal. The town stood on the brink of revelation, and the answers they sought promised to reshape their understanding of the past and the present. With determination and resolve, Grayson pressed on, ready to uncover the identity of the shadow lurking in the night. As Detective Oliver Grayson delved deeper into the heart of Eldridge's mystery, the town held its collective breath, waiting for the curtain to rise on the truth. The journal he had discovered in the abandoned cabin was a key piece of the puzzle, promising to shed light on the enigmatic villain and their motives. Yet, the path to revelation was fraught with challenges, as hidden secrets and unexpected alliances began to surface. Back in his study, Grayson meticulously examined the journal, its pages filled with cryptic notes and intricate sketches. Each entry painted a vivid picture of the villain's mindset, an individual driven by a peculiar blend of mischief and purpose. The journal hinted at a personal vendetta, suggesting that the villain's antics were more than mere pranks. They were a calculated response to a long-standing grievance. The sketches depicted the town of Eldridge itself, with certain locations marked in red ink. Grayson recognized them as sites of significance: the town square, the old mill, and the constable's office. It was clear that these places held a special meaning for the villain, but why? As Grayson pieced together these clues, the town of Eldridge faced its own turmoil. The newfound tension had reached a boiling point, with residents casting suspicious glances at one another. Old rivalries flared, and whispers of betrayal circulated through the cobblestone streets. Mayor Edith Thompson, a figure of authority and poise, called for a town meeting to address the growing unrest. "We must remember that unity is our strength," she urged, her voice steady yet imploring. "Let's not allow fear to divide us." In the midst of this chaos, Grayson received an unexpected visit from an unlikely ally. Lucy Bennett, a young woman with a reputation for mischief, approached him with information that could turn the investigation on its head. Known for her keen intuition and adventurous spirit, Lucy had been keeping her ear to the ground, gathering whispers from the town's underbelly. "I think I know who the villain is," Lucy confessed, her eyes alight with determination. "But you'll need to see it for yourself." Intrigued and cautiously optimistic, Grayson agreed to follow her lead. Together, they embarked on a journey to a secluded part of the forest, where Lucy revealed a hidden path leading to a secret hideout. The hideout was a small, cleverly concealed cabin nestled among the trees. Inside, Grayson found an array of tools and costumes, along with a collection of Joker cards identical to those left at the crime scenes. It was clear that this was the villain's lair, a place where they meticulously planned their escapades. Among the items, Grayson uncovered a photograph of a group of young children, one of whom bore a striking resemblance to someone he had seen around town. It was a connection he hadn't anticipated, one that brought the investigation full circle. Armed with this new evidence, Grayson prepared to confront the individual behind the mask. The revelation was poised to shake Eldridge to its core, challenging long-held perceptions and relationships. The town gathered in the square, anticipation hanging thick in the air. As Grayson stepped forward, the accused stood before the townspeople, their face a mixture of defiance and vulnerability. It was a moment of reckoning, one that would forever alter the fabric of Eldridge. The unveiling of the villain marked a turning point for the town. The truth, though shocking, brought with it a sense of closure and understanding. Grayson had not only solved the mystery but had also unearthed deeper truths about the community and its people. As Eldridge began the process of healing, Grayson reflected on the journey. The case of the vanishing villain had been more than a test of his detective skills. It had been a testament to the resilience and spirit of a town that, despite its challenges, remained bound by the ties of shared history and hope. With the mystery resolved, Eldridge could finally look to the future, ready to embrace whatever lay ahead. In the aftermath of the dramatic unveiling, Eldridge began the slow process of healing and rebuilding trust within the community. With the mystery of the vanishing villain resolved, the townspeople found themselves at a crossroads, ready to step into a future unburdened by fear and suspicion. Yet, as with any chapter that closes, new stories emerge, and Eldridge was on the brink of discovering fresh challenges and opportunities. The revelation of the villain's identity had been a turning point for Eldridge, bringing a sense of closure and understanding. As the residents gathered in the town square for a meeting called by Mayor Edith Thompson, there was a palpable sense of unity and determination in the air. "We faced our fears and uncovered the truth," Mayor Thompson began, her voice carrying a tone of hope. "Now, it's time to rebuild our community stronger than before. We must learn from the past and embrace the future." The townspeople responded with a renewed sense of camaraderie, eager to mend old wounds and reforge the bonds that had once defined their town. Plans were set in motion for a town-wide initiative, aimed at fostering positive change and revitalizing Eldridge. With the spirit of renewal in the air, Eldridge embarked on several new projects. The townspeople rallied together to organize community events, such as workshops, cultural festivals, and volunteer programs, designed to bring residents closer and celebrate the unique heritage of their town. Determined to reclaim the Harvest Festival's joyous spirit, the community worked together to make the upcoming event a grand celebration. New attractions were introduced, including storytelling sessions and musical performances, drawing visitors from neighboring towns. Inspired by young Timothy Collins' role in the investigation, the town launched a mentorship program encouraging the youth to learn from the experience and wisdom of Eldridge's older residents. The program aimed to instill a sense of responsibility and curiosity in the next generation. Recognizing the importance of the natural surroundings, the townspeople initiated a project focused on preserving and enhancing the forests and landscapes around Eldridge. Activities included tree planting, trail maintenance, and educational workshops on environmental conservation. As Eldridge embraced its new beginning, Detective Oliver Grayson reflected on his journey with a sense of fulfillment. Though he had initially sought a quiet life away from the rigors of detective work, his involvement in the case had rekindled his passion for solving mysteries and serving the community. Grayson decided to remain in Eldridge, offering his expertise to the town's residents whenever needed. His presence became a reassuring constant, and he was often seen sharing stories with locals over a cup of coffee at Margaret Wilkins' bakery. Just as Eldridge seemed to have settled into a peaceful routine, a new mystery began to unfurl. Strange occurrences were reported near the outskirts of town, unexplained lights flickering in the night sky and peculiar sounds echoing through the woods. Intrigued by these developments, Grayson found his detective instincts once again piqued. He began to investigate the phenomena, eager to unravel yet another enigma that could challenge the town's newfound tranquility. As Eldridge moved forward, it did so with a sense of resilience and hope. The journey from mystery to revelation had strengthened the community, and the lessons learned from the past promised to guide them into a brighter future. With Detective Grayson at the helm of a new investigation, Eldridge was reminded that life was full of surprises and that every ending held the promise of a new beginning. The town was ready to face whatever lay ahead, united in spirit and purpose. Eldridge, having emerged from the shadow of its recent past, was embracing a new dawn of community spirit and unity. Yet, as the townspeople settled into their newfound tranquility, an otherworldly mystery began to capture their imagination. Unexplained phenomena on the outskirts of town had become the talk of Eldridge, drawing both skepticism and intrigue. Detective Oliver Grayson, ever the seeker of truth, found himself once more at the center of an enigma that promised to challenge his investigative prowess. Reports of strange, flickering lights in the night sky and mysterious sounds emanating from the woods had piqued the curiosity of Eldridge's residents. Some speculated about natural explanations, while others whispered of extraterrestrial visitors. Whatever the cause, the occurrences had become a topic of fascination, drawing locals and visitors alike to the town's periphery, eager to catch a glimpse of the unknown. Determined to uncover the truth behind the celestial enigma, Detective Grayson began his investigation by interviewing witnesses and examining the sites where the phenomena had been observed. He discovered that the lights appeared at irregular intervals, often accompanied by a low, humming sound that seemed to resonate through the forest. Grayson set up a camp near the epicenter of the activity, equipped with a notebook, a camera, and a tape recorder, ready to document any findings. He was joined by Lucy Bennett, whose adventurous spirit and keen insights had proven invaluable in the past. "We're not alone in this, Detective," Lucy remarked, her eyes scanning the night sky. "Whatever it is, it's trying to communicate." Seeking a more scientific perspective, Grayson reached out to Professor Amelia Carter, a renowned astronomer from the nearby university. Professor Carter, intrigued by the reports, agreed to visit Eldridge and lend her expertise to the investigation. Together, they analyzed the patterns of the lights and sounds, using advanced equipment to measure electromagnetic activity in atmospheric conditions. Carter's initial findings suggested that the phenomena could be linked to a rare natural event, but she remained open to other possibilities. As the investigation progressed, the townspeople of Eldridge became actively involved, organizing nightly gatherings to observe the sky and share their experiences. These gatherings fostered a sense of camaraderie, reminiscent of the recent efforts to rebuild community spirit. Margaret Wilkins, always at the heart of Eldridge's social activities, provided refreshments and a warm place for discussions at her bakery. "It's amazing how mystery brings us together," she mused, serving steaming mugs of cocoa to the eager stargazers. One clear night, Grayson and Carter observed a particularly vivid display of lights, accompanied by a distinct pattern of sounds. Using their combined expertise, they managed to record the event in detail, capturing data that hinted at an unusual celestial alignment as the potential source. The breakthrough suggested that the phenomena might be a natural, albeit rare, occurrence linked to the alignment of specific celestial bodies. This revelation brought a sense of wonder to Eldridge, transforming what was once a source of fear into a celebration of the universe's mysteries. With the mystery of the celestial enigma partially unraveled, Eldridge found itself once again united by the unknown and inspired by the vastness of the cosmos. Detective Grayson, satisfied with the progress of the investigation, reflected on the journey, recognizing that some mysteries were not meant to be fully understood but rather appreciated for their ability to captivate and connect people. As Eldridge continued to explore the wonders of the night sky, the town embraced its role as a beacon of curiosity and discovery. With each new mystery that arose, the community was reminded of the endless possibilities that lay beyond, ready to face whatever the universe had in store. As Eldridge stood united and rejuvenated, the town's heart beat with a newfound vibrancy. The mysteries that had once cloaked the community in uncertainty were now stepping stones toward a future filled with promise. Yet, as the latest celestial enigma hinted at the boundless wonders of the universe, another kind of mystery was quietly unfolding within the town itself, a tale that would bring everything full circle and offer a fitting conclusion to Eldridge's journey. On a crisp autumn morning, as leaves danced to the ground in a golden symphony, a mysterious figure arrived in Eldridge. Clad in an elegant, vintage coat, the visitor carried an air of intrigue and a knowing smile that seemed to echo the town's storied past. The stranger introduced themselves as a distant relative of one of Eldridge's earliest settlers, drawn back to the town by tales of its recent adventures. The townspeople, curious and welcoming, gathered around to hear the visitor's stories, which intertwined with Eldridge's own history in surprising ways. The tale spoke of forgotten legends, hidden treasures, and the enduring spirit of a community that had always thrived on mystery and resilience. As the visitors shared their stories, Detective Oliver Grayson noticed something peculiar, a reference to a long-lost artifact said to possess the power to unite and inspire. Intrigued, Grayson, along with Lucy Bennett and a group of eager townsfolk, embarked on a quest to uncover this piece of Eldridge's past. The journey took them through the familiar forest, now seen through the lens of a shared history, and into the depths of the town's archives. With each step, the town's collective memory was reignited, revealing connections and truths that had long been forgotten. In a hidden chamber beneath the town hall, they discovered an ornate chest, its surface etched with symbols of unity and peace. Inside lay the artifact, a beautifully crafted compass, its needle pointing unwaveringly toward the heart of Eldridge. The compass became a symbol for Eldridge, embodying the town's journey from uncertainty to enlightenment. It was a reminder of the mysteries that had tested the bonds and the strength that had emerged from facing them together. As the townspeople gathered for the unveiling of the artifact, there was a palpable sense of closure and celebration. Mayor Edith Thompson addressed the crowd, her voice resonating with pride and hope. This compass is more than an artifact. It is a testament to our journey, our resilience, and the unbreakable spirit of Eldridge. With the compass serving as a guiding emblem, Eldridge found itself not only at peace but thriving. The celestial mysteries and the earthly enigmas had united the town in ways previously unimaginable, weaving a tapestry of shared experiences and newfound hope. Detective Grayson, content with the role he had played in Eldridge's transformation, watched as the townspeople celebrated their heritage and looked forward to a future filled with promise. Though mysteries would always beckon, Grayson knew that Eldridge was ready to face them, armed with the wisdom of the past and the courage of community. As the sun set over the town, casting a warm glow on the cobblestone streets, Eldridge stood as a beacon of unity and discovery, a place where every ending led to a new beginning, and every mystery was an opportunity to grow. Hope you liked this video, so kindly support us by clicking the subscribe button, like this video, and share to encourage us create more interesting content. Thanks for watching, see you next time.